Hello. Today's assembly is about things that you have already done. Today's assembly is going to be about Black History Month and the work that we did to celebrate Black History Month, which was around the Seven Saints of St. Paul's. In this assembly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some pictures of work that you've done, and we're going to hear from you whilst you explain what you did and why you did it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to start showing you the pictures. Bye-bye. Okay, starting with reception. First of all, we've got this incredible bus that was made by our reception children. And on the bus, they've each drawn a picture of themselves. And then driving the bus is Roy Hackett, who is a really, really important person for Bristol and especially important for the black community. I'm not going to tell you why. Instead, we're going to listen to Owls talking about why.
You remember about Roy Hackett?
No one, some people didn't like to work with him because I know everyone about black people, everything.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Does anyone else remember anything about Roy on the bus?
Amelia, I know you went home and told your mum
Hello,
because she was really impressed that you knew lots about Roy Hackett. So, Amelia, what do you remember about Roy Hackett? Where did he come from? What country did he come from?
Jamaica.
Well done, Kaya.
Came from Jamaica.
Jamaica, didn't he?
And what was he doing on the bus? Go on, Daniel.
The people said he can drive in the bus.
Okay, so about him driving a bus.
The people said about driving the bus.
And what did Roy Hackett's friends decide? And Roy? What did they decide? Did they think that was very fair or not very fair?
No.
Elise, what did you think? Not very fair, not very fair. What happened at the end of the story? It had a happy ending, didn't it? Fizzer, do you remember?
He was very happy.
Why was he happy? What was he allowed to do?
Because he was allowed to ride on the bus.
I think that you could probably agree with me that our 4 and 5-year-olds have done a pretty good job there of explaining why Roy Hackett is so important to Bristol. And it's all to do with the Bristol bus boycott. If you keep listening really carefully, later on in Year 5 and Year 6, you might hear more about that. Okay, next to Year 1.
She looks after children.
What was her name?
Dolores Campbell.
And why was she famous?
She looked after children.
Brilliant. And what did you do? What work did you do?
We did a picture of her
Brilliant.
on a building.
On a building. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Paper.
On paper. And you can see here the pictures that Jennifer was talking about where they have drawn Dolores Campbell on the side of a building and they've decorated the back of the building to make it look really colourful and to show what a fantastic person Dolores was for looking after all of those children. I know our children in Year 2, you'll know quite a lot about Dolores as well because you learnt about her last year. Next up, we've got some beautiful art from Year 2, which you can see in the background. I'm going to let a Year 2 child explain to you who this art is about and why they've done the picture they have. So, who did you do your work on in Black History Month?
Owen Henry.
And what do you know about Owen Henry?
He made black people drive buses.
Oh, amazing. So what work did you do? What did you do? Did you do some artwork? Did you do some pictures? Did you just learn about him?
Just learn about
Just
him.
learn about him. So is he a really important person?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Albie. Now, this is an incredible example of the work that Year 3 did. Year 3 have not only created a piece of art, but they've made an object as well, which is the vehicle for their art. I'm going to let them explain what they've done. So, who was your Black History Week work about?
Carmen Beckford.
Carmen Beckford. And what did you do to celebrate Carmen Beckford's life? You made a house, yeah. And why were you making a house, Desira? Can you remember?
We were making a house because she was one of the seven saints of St. Paul's.
Yeah. And the seven saints of St. Paul's, they're painted on the sides of the houses, aren't they? Have you been to see the houses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen all seven.
All seven? Fantastic. So what did you do then? You made a little house.
And then we drew the picture of Beckford on the house. And then we stuck it on the house.
Brilliant. And do you know why she's painted on the side of the house?
Because she was one of the black people who were very famous.
Okay, what was she famous for? Do you know?
I can't remember.
Can you remember? No worries. All right, brilliant. Thank you, you two. Can you tell me why Carmen Beckford was famous?
Because she flew over to England when she was 17 and she was part of the Seven Saints.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, Year 4 created a work about Clifford Drummond. You can see an example or two on the screen now. The classes did their work slightly differently. So first of all, we are going to hear from Razorbills, and then after that, we're going to hear from one of Starling's explaining what they've done. So, what was your Black History Month work about?
Clifford Drummond.
And what did you do about Clifford Drummond?
Well, we know where he was born.
Where was he born?
In Jamaica.
Yeah. What else do you know about him?
That he worked for, I think it was a
travel agency.
yeah.
And he fought of the St. Paul's Carnival.
And he was the one who made up the St. Paul's Carnival.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So what did you do? Did you do some artwork or did you do some writing?
We did some artwork and some writing.
Oh,
We
fantastic.
did some artwork and writing. So we had some pastels, and then we just in pencil we wrote his name in bubble writing, and then we used the pastels to colour it in.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, you two.
Also, on our board in our class, there's loads of different things that's about him.
Brilliant. What sort of thing?
He worked at Speedy Cafe, and he had 9 children.
Amazing. All right. Thank you very much.
Clifford Drummond.
Yeah. What can you tell me about Clifford Drummond?
He came to England in 19-something. Yeah, and he ran a cafe, a decorating business, and had a cafe, a decorating business, a travel agency, and I think they're the only ones I can remember.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that impressed when he came to England because he thought it would be better than Jamaica,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
Okay.
She has 9 children as well.
9 children. Goodness me. So why were you learning about him?
Miss Burton, because he's 7 saints.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, Year 5 did something slightly different to everyone else. They didn't just think about the 7 saints and the murals that were created in St. Paul's by the artist who we met last year, Michelle Curtis. Instead, what they did is they thought about one of the 7 saints, which I'll let them explain, and then they also thought about a new artist that they hadn't learnt about before. And they created art in the style of that artist, and you can see an example here. I'm going to let Shay explain to you about exactly what they have done.
We learned about a teacher named Barbara Dessering, and we made portraits of her in the style of Jacob Lawrence, and we did a bunch of colourful, colours in the background, and then we just did a picture of her with no face.
Brilliant. What was the name of the artist?
Bob, the artist or the teacher,
The artist who you based it on.
Jacob Lawrence.
Jacob Lawrence. And the teacher was called...
Barbara Dessering.
Why were you studying her? Can you remember?
Because we were doing Black History Month.
Brilliant. And is she a memorable black person? Yeah? Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, our last year group that we're going to look at is our oldest children. Here you can see a picture of them putting that artwork together, and then in a second you'll see what it looked like once it was all done. I'm going to let them explain because they did it so eloquently, and then at the end I'll have a conversation with you about it.
Okay. We learn about Audley Evans and how he was about the Bristol boycott. Well, he helped so that black people could get a job on the buses.
Okay.
And that so they could have equal rights as white people.
Good. So what did you do? What work did you do about him? Did you do was it art or?
We did a bit of art on the moral.
Yeah.
So our whole class did a little sketch of it, and they all joined up together to make a moral of Audley Evans.
Brilliant. All right. Anything else?
Don't think so.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
It's okay.
Off you go.
Audley Evans. He fought racism in the 1960s and helped lead a boycott of the city's omnibus company, which was refusing to hire black people. Then he took to protesting in America for the same reason. In our class, we did a replica of Audley Evans' mural. Everybody did a certain section of the piece. We also did a poster about the Bristol bus boycott.
So at the end, what I've done is I've put a picture of one of the real murals that are painted on the side of buildings in St Paul's, just to show you one of them. I'm really proud of this work that we've been doing. Over the last 2 years, our Black History Month work has been based on these 7 people, and what this means is that you are starting to understand more and more about these people. I'm very proud of it, as I've said. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this assembly to the artist who created the murals so she can see that our work continues. We didn't just do it once, we're focusing on it again. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed seeing the incredible things you have done. You should, because they are wonderful. Okay, bye-bye.